Looking at those, Jake, who survives longer, or the one of those managers not survive and be able to scroll as low as I did?
I I mean, just on paper, looking at the fixtures and form right now, looks like Chelsea definitely have it tougher, and they can't score as it stands. So I think if there's one that is going to be on the hot seat in the next few matches, it's going to be Pochettino. And there's kind of a short leash with a lot of managers that they've had in the past at Chelsea. So I wouldn't be surprised. I would like to see him stay longer and kind of be a project manager, but Chelsea doesn't really do that very often. And even when they do, they're lying. They say, "Oh, we're gonna like have a project manager," and then 4 games in a row without winning, and he's gone.
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah.
Bring on the next guy. So, Alex, what do you think? Who survives? Or, I mean, or does Pochettino, if they do have a bad run of, if they continue this form, we don't want to say bad, I mean the current form, which is not good. Are either of them in danger? I mean, we talked about the Glazers. They want to sell, but now really it's a bad time to sell. Probably a good time to buy that team, kind of like the team that's buying Everton. It's like shopping at Goodwill of Premier League clubs and then just like grabbing them while they're down. So do you think who will be in better shape, let's say next international break or right after international break, and do either of them are in danger of getting kind of canned?
I mean, I guess technically they're both in danger. I think if you've seen some of the public comments from Ten Hag, that makes me pretty nervous that he's out here, not bad mouthing anybody, but he's been fairly vocal defending himself. So that always makes you nervous when there's an open rift like that. The weird thing is I haven't heard anything about Poch at all, which is kind of weird he's just kind of there. Bowley strikes me as the kind of ownership group strikes me as the kind of thing that they would lose, and then literally 6 hours later, there'd be a weird tweet about thanking him for his service, and we'd all be like, "The fuck? What is he gone? I don't understand." So I would not doubt if that happened at all. I mean, I'm not in the prediction business, but I think it'd be fantastic if Fulham sent them both packing. I don't know, a loss to little old Fulham just sends them both down the road. But
I'm all for that.
I know. I think in a weird way, I think the European matches might help United. Like, kind of, it draws a little bit of the attention away from the league. And I think as long as the wheels don't come off any further than they have come off, which with United, who knows? It might happen. But I feel like he's a little bit safer than Poch is, just because I have no idea what Bowley and company think of Poch. No, I mean, I haven't heard anything. If they keep this form up, it would not strike me. Because how many games did Graham Potter get? Like 10 or something?
Yeah, I think you only need 2 hands to count them. I think
it wasn't a lot. So who knows? Yeah, I would not be feeling super comfy if I rather them.
And maybe Pochettino maybe is the right guy for that job in that sense, Jake, because he's not. I mean, if it was Mourinho or somebody there, for example, or if it was Conte over there, they are going to be like, I didn't even want this freaking guy, kind of a thing, and would call them out. Pochettino doesn't really roll like that. He kind of takes the high road and is like, yeah, we got to improve. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to go, kind of a deal. So does that, is that why he was brought in, maybe? Because he's not going to be as vocal and let Todd kind of do his own grocery shopping?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons for sure. At Spurs, he was very likable, and the ownership liked him a lot, and it took a long string of not getting a result on the road for him to finally, get canned. So I think that's one of the reasons why he was brought in. He's a good soldier and will, kind of be a good face for the team, and the management might keep him longer because of that. But obviously, there is a limit, and I'm not saying he's close to it, but if it continues like this, he could definitely be in danger. Ten Hag's just kind of weird, so I wouldn't. Just a weird dude. So I wouldn't be surprised if he, it was let go either, because just an interesting fella.
He's an odd bird.
Yeah, he is. But he does actually, at least he's looking like the guy, either he's fed up. It's almost like he's up to here with me. Like every press conference, he's getting a bit more irate, kind of a deal. Yeah. But let me ask you that, Jay, because I totally forgot about that for some reason. But Pochettino, when he left well, or he was made to leave Spurs. What was the feeling as fans? Like he took us as far as he could, or he could have taken us further if he had this or whatever.
I think there was a general consensus for fans thinking that he wasn't backed enough,
Okay.
and that he took us as far as he could, and even further than we should have gone. You know, Champions League final and all that. But I think that it was kind of his time. I was upset when it happened, and then them announcing Mourinho less than 12 hours later was, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that made it better or worse. But it was probably his time. Like looking back on it now, I think it was the right decision. He wasn't getting results on the road, and we were in like 14th place. So I think it was, you know, people aren't upset. Like right now, if you ask a Spurs fan, even a diehard Poch fan, you know, was it his time to go? They'd say yes. And I don't think that you could say the same about him at Chelsea now. So I think he's got some leeway and some time to get those results and get back in the good graces.
Yeah, I almost feel like Chelsea fans have to think that too. It's like you gotta cook, but people are constantly throwing ingredients at him, and he's like trying. He's like, "Hold on, I'm making this over here," and then they're like, "How about this? How about that?" And then they're just constantly throwing shit at him. So it's kind of hard to get something going, especially if you didn't ask for some of those ingredients. And it's making it sound like I listened to one of his press conferences, and he did. Without saying it, if you read between the lines, he was like, I don't know. Let's see what they did over here. I'll see what I can do. Like, we're going to see what we can do. We're going to work on it, kind of a deal. But, I mean, long may it continue. And I really like the scenario where Fulham puts an end to both of them. I'm all for that. I'm all for that.